The world's view is that sex is a natural biological function that should not be repressed, but it should be indulged in as a means of relieving one of loneliness, boredom, headaches, cramps, anger, and most of all, stress. Yeah, sex will help relieve some of your stress. Look at somebody and say, it's a trick. So God created man in his image. In the image of God, he created him, male and female. He created them. God blessed them. God said to them, be fruitful, multiply, fill the earth. Verse 31, then God saw in the conclusion that everything that he had made, and indeed it was very good. What are you saying, Bishop? God created us as sexual beings. God created us male and God created us female, and then he called it good. Now wait a minute. It speaks of the intention of sex and not the act of sex. I want to make sure you hear that. I said it speaks of the intention of sex and not the act of sex. In other words, you may have been with somebody that made the thunder roll and the lightning flash. Y'all ain't talking to me. But it's bad sex if it's outside of God's original intention. I got my foot on the devil. I said it's bad. It's sex that's out of order if it's outside of God's original intention. Tell somebody we're going to get this thing together. In its original creative intention, sex was good and very much a part of God's creative process. Part of the reason we shun the discussion of sex in church is because we're not mature enough to separate the act of sex from the intention of sex. Oh, this probably ain't gonna sell as good as I would like it to, but I'm gonna preach it. I said the reason we shun the discussion in church is because we're not mature enough to separate the act of sex from the intention of sex. Oh, it's two different things. Because if you focus on the act of sex, you are in fact right where the enemy wants you to be. And it is the act of sex that he continues to deceive us and cause us to fall into illicit behavior that's not pleasing of God. Shake somebody's hand and tell them that's why we got to grow up. Oh, it's bad. It's bad to be a one-woman man when there's so many women out there. Why you just gonna settle for one? And so the thing that's bad, they now promote as good. You ain't no player. You ain't no pimp. What are you, a punk? You ain't got no swag. Girl, it's bad to keep yourself waiting on some mystical Boaz. Girl, you better string along a couple of them so you can get your paper. Girl, you better string along a couple of them so you can get your bills paid. What do you mean you keeping yourself till your husband come? Girl, are you crazy? I can't get no help up in here, but I'm preaching by myself. Everything that's good and godly is presented by the world as bad. If I got to stand by myself and declare it, if it is of God, it is good for your soul, your mind, and your spirit.